The V12, V15, and Gen 5 Detect are three of the latest Dyson releases, each with a unique selling point for a specific user. The goal of this video is to identify these selling points and how these will affect your decision making if you're choosing between these models. I've noticed consumers getting confused about the differences between Dyson models, so I'm releasing a series of videos comparing Dyson cordless vacuums to help you know these differences to help you make an informed choice. The last thing you want is to spend several $100s only to get an item that doesn't fit your needs and waste time returning it. This video will be based on data gathered from hours of testing these products, from cleaning performance to noise and everything in between. This will be a long video, so grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. Over the last year or so, Dyson has unveiled several new products, including its latest robot vacuum, the 360 VisNav. But I'll focus on the V12, V15, and Gen 5 Detect in this video. The Gen 5 outsize is a larger variation of the Gen 5 Detect, more than doubling its dustbin capacity, and is excellent for consumers looking for a cordless vacuum that can hold more dirt. If you haven't used or seen a Dyson up close, you'd think these products are similar, but that is not the case, since there are nuances to consider. The V12 Detect is the lightest of the three, with a design bias towards ergonomics, aimed at consumers looking for something lightweight. With the downsized frame, there are compromises. The most significant is the smaller dustbin capacity, a 0.35-liter volume, which is 50% smaller than a full-size Dyson stick vacuum. The V12 was one of the first Dyson stick vacuums with a push-button switch, an oversized button on top of the motor screaming, "Push me!" Combined with its lightweight frame, the V12 Detect is the easiest to maneuver, especially with a slim roller attachment, because it will fit under low-clearance furniture. The V15 Detect was previously Dyson's flagship, and the first I've tested with this screen that displays a readout from the piezo sensor, which basically counts dirt particles from 4 distinct sizes. Since it's a full-size stick vacuum, it's more than a pound heavier than a V12. The extra weight makes it more tiring to use, especially in its handheld configuration. It still uses a trigger, and you'll need to squeeze it for the motor to run. This model was, and still is, one of the better performing Dyson cordless vacuums I've tested, thanks to its high airflow and suction, even with the Gen 5 Detect release. Another technology Dyson introduced in the V15 Detect is the Laser Slim Roller, where a bright green laser flashes to reveal almost invisible to the naked eye dust. This was one of the best innovations I've reviewed in the last 5 years. Some would argue that an LED nozzle is as effective, but this is one of the best I've used so far. Also, Dyson introduced the torque screw tool, another groundbreaking technology that uses a tapered brush designed as such so hair doesn't wrap around it, but funnels strands towards a holding area, then inside the dustbin. It's quite effective and nothing wraps around it, even long hair. Lastly, the Gen 5 Detect is the latest Dyson has to offer with a redesigned screen, brighter green laser, and a push-button switch, so it doesn't have a trigger. Dyson says this model is its most powerful to date, and this claim is confirmed in the suction tests. However, this increased power didn't translate to better airflow. Therefore, there's no upgrade in surface debris cleaning performance. Nonetheless, one effect of the higher suction is it has a better seal. One proof is the brush stopped spinning if the gates were fully closed in the highest setting, so I had to open it halfway for the brush to spin. Its high suction makes it an excellent deep cleaning option even in the middle setting, and it's easier to push than the V15 since it will pick up embedded dirt even with the gates halfway open. While all three Dyson products have floor-specific nozzles, there are some differences to note. All three use a slim roller attachment with a green laser. One difference is that the Gen 5 Detect laser is twice as bright as the older V15 and V12 hard floor nozzles. Since it uses a slim roller, it's not as chunky as the older fluffy roller, so it fits under lower clearance furniture. The Gen 5 Detect's brighter nozzle is the best at accentuating dust compared to the V15 and V12, so Dyson's claim is accurate and it's twice as bright. Whether this brightness upgrade is a must-have will be subjective. For me, the older Laser Slim Roller is decent and does the job. It can be one of those "do you really need it" features. All three have the standard nozzle with a chunkier brush for agitating carpet. The V15 and Gen 5 Detect use the latest design with combs and a brush designed to resist tangles, while the V12 uses the V8 style nozzle with the same squeegee-like seal behind the brush. While I like the V12 Detect on surface debris since it has a better seal, the V15 and Gen 5 cleaner heads are better at cleaning embedded sand because of the higher airflow and agitation. Another advantage is these are better at cleaning hair, again thanks to the higher airflow, combs, and these protrusions that prevent hair from wrapping on a brush. So the V15 and Gen 5 Detect are better alternatives for cleaning long hair, specifically on carpets where it got 100% in all the tests. But the V12 can clean long hair on upholstery since it has the torque screw tool. What tools you'll get out of the box will depend on the model. This comparison is based on what I've gotten for my purchases. The V12 Detect offers the best value, at least for the sub-variant I purchased. Notably, it has a light pipe crevice tool with a bright LED at the tip to help with tracking dirt, an under-appliance attachment that helps clean underneath furniture, and a torque screw tool. And it comes with 2 batteries, doubling their runtime. Again, it's a locally purchased model, so the tools you'll get will vary depending on where you purchase, so always check before buying. The V15 Detect has these attachments, including the torque screw tool that's great at cleaning long hair strands, the stiff brush tool, and hose attachment where you can attach any non-powered tool, making it easier to clean upholstery. The Gen 5 Detect has the least number of tools, with only 3 above-floor tools besides the cleaner heads. It does have the redesigned 2-in-1 crevice tool tucked inside the extension tube, so it's available on the fly when you need to clean upholstery. These attachments are interchangeable, at least to a certain degree. The non-powered tools are interchangeable between all 3 models. However, you cannot use the V12 nozzles on the V15 or Gen 5 Detect, and the other way around. Also, the V12 torque screw tool will not fit the V15 and Gen 5 Detect because these have different connecting points. I tested power using 2 metrics, airflow and suction, with an anemometer, Y gauge, and water lift gauge. And here are the results for the suction tests and airflow tests. The obvious winner in the suction test is the Gen 5 Detect, since it has Dyson's latest hyper-dimming motor with the highest air watt rating of 262 air watts. The higher suction helps it deep clean carpet even with the gates half open, making it easier to push on carpets compared to the V15. Unfortunately, the Gen 5 Detect's higher suction doesn't translate to higher airflow, as the V15 Detect was better in most of the tests. These results were confirmed in the cleaning experiments, where the V15 got the best overall averages than the Gen 5 Detect, which was a disappointment at least for me because of the price difference. The V12 Detect is the worst performing option of the 3, which isn't surprising since it has the weakest suction and airflow. Fortunately, the difference between the V12 and its more expensive siblings isn't significant, at least for surface debris. However, one downside with the lower airflow and suction is it won't deep clean carpets as well. Since Dyson introduced the new screen interface in the V15 Detect, it has been a fixture in subsequent models, namely the V12 and Gen 5 Detect. The V12 and V15 Detect screens are the same, but with subtle differences in the button design. While the Gen 5 Detect has a different graphic design with horizontal bars instead of vertical bars you'll see in the V12 and V15 screens. It also shows a text description of what each size represents, a nice wrinkle to help consumers know what each graph represents. The screen also enables users to toggle between 3 different power settings and displays error messages in an easy-to-understand text. Aside from the screens, there are variations with the power switches. The V12 has a big red button on top, the V15 uses a trigger, and the Gen 5 Detect has a smaller red button above the screen. Most Dyson products I've tested, including these 3, have a sealed system. None leak during the fog test, which proves the seals inside the dustbin are good. However, these are not interchangeable, since all use different size filters. Another difference is that only the Gen 5 Detect has a HEPA-rated filter, while the other 2 use standard filters. One underrated aspect you must consider is the weight difference. The Gen 5 Detect is the heaviest at 4 pounds and 15.7 ounces, while the V12 is the lightest at a little over 3 pounds. On paper, the 1+ pound difference may sound little, but in reality, it's like 25%, and the lightweight frame of the V12 makes it less tiring to use above floors than the V15 or Gen 5 Detect. It's the best of the 3 in terms of handheld usability. When Dyson unveiled the Gen 5 Detect, claiming it had a 70-minute runtime, I was ecstatic because most of their products exceeded these claims. So I thought it would exceed 90 minutes, since the V15 exceeded 84 minutes. So expecting a 20-minute jump isn't asking for too much, right? That wasn't the case, unfortunately, as the Gen 5 Detect only lasted a little over 80 minutes in the lowest setting on hard floors. But its biggest advantage is the auto setting, the default power setting of all Dyson stick vacuums, lasting over 46 minutes on hard floors and 22 minutes on carpets, which is the best of the three. The V12 is the worst of the three, which isn't surprising since it uses the smallest battery. Dyson products, specifically its cordless vacuum line, are noisy, typically ranging between 70 and 80 decibels. But the Gen 5 Detect is the noisiest, breaking the 80 decibel mark in the auto setting and close to 90 decibels in the max setting using the standard nozzle. Not surprisingly, the V15 is the next loudest, but was within the 80 decibel range and very close to the V12 Detect. So there's not much difference between these two. So which option is the best? That would depend on your needs and what features you'll prioritize. To summarize all the data gathered, the V15 Detect is the best overall, factoring in cleaning performance and price. The Gen 5 release has slashed its prices significantly, making it a compelling option if you don't mind the downsides of using a trigger. The V12 is great for consumers looking for a lightweight stick vacuum without compromising too much on cleaning performance. It has enough suction and airflow to pick up surface debris, but the downgraded power affects it most in deep cleaning carpets. However, its lightweight frame and push-button switch give it superior ergonomics, especially inside homes with mostly hard floors. This also translates well to cleaning upholstery, since it won't be as tiring to use. The Gen 5 Detect offers the latest technology, including the triggerless design, brighter green laser, more data in a display, and better suction, but at a premium cost. So the question is, are you willing to spend on these? If you want more information about these Dyson cordless vacuums, click on these videos to learn more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if this video has been helpful to you. It goes a long way in growing this channel and reaching more consumers. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.